In 1938, architect and designer Charlotte Perriand designed a mountain shelter able to withstand the harsh elements of any mountaintop, yet still light enough to be carried by hand. Her piece of nomadic architecture, designed with Pierre Jeanneret, consists of just 12 main prefabricated panels, light enough to be manually transported. Once on location, the panels lock together to resist wind, snow, and cold. The tiny barrel-shaped structure sleeps up to 10 people. And while it was never constructed in Perriand's lifetime, it was just one of her many designs created for the masses. Perriand wanted to create shelters that would force a connection with our natural surroundings. The house at the water's edge was designed by Perriand in 1934 as a proposal for an affordable vacation home. As her daughter explains, her mission was to eliminate anything unnecessary, but always to concentrate on the flow of light and air. Then you can live in the smallest of spaces.
She's not trained as an architect, so she's not willing to make heavy facade. So she thinks about spaces in which we flow and with a lot of light and no barrier between interior and exterior. Charlotte Perriand is that woman who was born in 1903 and died in 1999, so she went through the 20th century. She's known for her design. All of you probably know this long chair, the one that is famous, but not under the name of Charlotte Perriand. That long chair is known under the name of Le Corbusier. So this is the story that we wanted to convey to the public, that Charlotte Perriand's contribution to design is much more than what we know.
When Perriand applied to work with Le Corbusier in 1924, he told her, "We don't embroider cushions here." But a month later, he saw her exhibit recreating a section of her apartment with all its machine-age materials and hired the then 23-year-old.
This is her flat, her own flat that she presented in 1928. It's very modern. You have to imagine music, and she's going to see Joséphine Baker. She has a collaboration with Fernand Léger, Alexander Calder, Pablo Picasso, and all the major artists of the 20th to design not only elements, but spaces in which you have this dialogue of the arts. In all this atmosphere, she designed these masterpieces of design before her collaboration with Le Corbusier. This beautiful Refuge Tonneau. This is a reconstruction because it has never been built in the 30s. So it's a prefabricated refuge so that people can have the different elements on their shoulder and go to mountain, build one of them and enjoy, move it if it needs to be moved, and it can shelter up to 10 people living in that small spaces. You'd rather want to be upstairs because it's probably much warmer. But it's a tiny space, but it's well thought and everything flows in that space. The beds can move so that you have more space. You have more space if you want. And then during night time, you also have a bed over there. And during daytime, you can use it as banquette chairs to have friends and.
And this, what year again?
1938.
Because this is something we're seeing more and more now.
Yeah, of course, and it's warm. It has at the same time prefabricated and very warm. It's like small cupboards and things to hide. It's simple, basic, but straightforward. So it's very simple.
But so well crafted.
Yeah.
And also, she's really playing with, taking it all the way to a triangle, a table, or really playing with
the geometric
geometries.
forms. Also because they are simple. If you have round volumes, it's the volume that is easier to have people being warm in that volumes, and with the last flat elements prefabricated to go hiking on your shoulders to the mountain to build it together. Because all the elements are very light, so that it can be built easier. That's one of the panels. This is the biggest element, so it can be carried by 2 men. It's very light because it's only an aluminum sheet, and then it has cables like this and elements made out of wood inside. So very easy to carry. Those are the skis of Charlotte Perriand. These are the original skis. The daughter of Charlotte Perriand gave us those skis and elements so that we can witness the fact that Charlotte Perriand was hiking, was trekking. It's not something in mind or in theory. She was doing it, and she was building as a woman.
And also, she was thinking about what space you need, the minimal space kind of idea, no?
This, we can talk about Les Arcs, the ski resort that she's designed. So prefabrication is something that she has in mind in her 30s, which will be led to another scale, an industrial scale, the one of a city with the ski resort Les Arcs. With this prefabricated bathroom and kitchen. It's a prefabricated element. These are elements, the same techniques as you use in boats, and it's 2 elements, and that makes it a bathroom. And you have here the bathroom and the kitchen on the side. The prefabricated elements makes it faster to be built. Otherwise, building a bathroom in a flat takes a lot of time. So you can produce it in a factory and then bring it on the construction site and makes it faster. That makes it possible to build within summertime, before winter, a huge city in the Alps. And the flats are designed and the buildings are designed so that everyone can enjoy nature and mountain. It's looking forward architecture and at the same time very respectful of the site, of the nature around her.
And also making sure that it's sort of affordable to
Yeah, and still affordable to people. The reference to nature is something that is not in theory for her. It's something that she feels. She goes hiking in the mountain. She's looking at things in a different perspective. Nature at the same time, but also industry and machines. You have to imagine what a flat was in 1929 when they imagined this incredible 90 square meters flat. It wasn't like this. There were walls, there were partitions. Here you have no corridor. The kitchen is open on the living room. The bedroom has a shower and a bathroom. This was not only a new aesthetic or new techniques used with these tubular steel structures that turns like a wheel of an automobile that she sees on the Champs-Élysées, or those elements here are the ones that are made out of elements out of planes. So they have this idea in mind that plane, automobile, the machine is the reference at this time.
In 1934, Perriand began a 5-year study of minimal shelters, which would use these modern materials, but still be light on the land. The Bivouac Refuge was a prefab high mountain shelter built in 1936. Its tubular aluminum frame was light enough to be transported by hand, but robust and affordable. Hoping to improve upon the idea with a shape better adapted to extreme weather, Perriand was inspired by a merry-go-round. As with a carousel, the dodecagon shape withstands strong centrifugal loads, similar to the force of the wind.
The fact that it's not totally square is good for extreme weather conditions like very strong winds.
You have 4 steel cables to secure the structure, plus the bolts on every one of the hinges. You can see how techniques that are pervasive in industrial design, like this sort of structure to make a leg, so you basically only need a wrench and you just move it to find ground to level it up. So It's like an exercise of mass production that could be easily replicated, and it makes a lot of sense. Since it's a place for extreme weather conditions on the high mountain, there is a central heating point, which is the stove. It's a stove, a heating stove, and on top is a cooking stove. You have an entry where you keep your wood dry. At the same time, you sort of see that the heat is coming through this. So we get some heat. You know, it's high-low tech. I do like the way everything is almost clicking. I can see how somebody could assemble this even on very bad weather conditions. You could have this up probably in less than a day. How about the water? You just bring some snow. We have this kitchen stove in here. Snow is gonna melt, and then just pour water on top of the sink. There's bunk beds. Then you have a seating area.
Okay.
Beds are not as big, just
Just what you need.
just what you need just to rest.
Yeah.
It also has this sort of very interesting old school touches. Okay, you have these keys.
Those are her actual skis.
And then this little wooden piece just to put it back in place. It's just the opposite of what we are using these days. It's very difficult these days to sort of find a place where you can enter or you can study from the exteriors and you have the feeling you understand it, how it works, how you could fix it, how you could adapt it to your needs.